the fading light. The October breeze fluttered the crimson leaves outside the window where PB sat gazing blankly, as she did most days now. The 75-year-old grandmother who once radiated joy and purpose seemed to grow more distant and faded as the seasons changed. PB had always been the pillar of her family, strong, vibrant, racing through life at full speed. She raised 3 beautiful children in this modest suburban home while holding down a job and serving her community. Her days were filled with friends, laughter, purpose. But over time, PB had slowly begun withdrawing from the world outside her door. It started gradually, a forgotten birthday here, a missed meeting there. At first, her children chalked it up to normal aging, but soon the signs were too troubling to ignore. A glimmer of light and a lot of worry. Her eldest daughter, S.A., noticed her once tidy mother was keeping a cluttered home, with unopened mail piling up. She sounded confused on the phone at times, unable to recall simple details about her grandchildren. It was clear PB was increasingly disconnected from the demands of daily life. The hardest truth for S.A. came when she received a call that her mother had gotten lost driving home from the grocery store only a few blocks away. She knew in that moment that PB was no longer safe living alone, but the thought of disrupting her mother's treasured independence felt unbearable. S.A. spent sleepless nights online, desperately searching for alternatives to the nursing homes and assisted living facilities that felt more like prisons than places of comfort. There had to be another way. Late one evening, a glowing review for IncrediCare Home Care gave S.A. her first glimmer of hope. Here was a company dedicated to helping seniors stay safe while remaining in their own homes. With trepidation, S.A. picked up the phone. The phone call. A warm and understanding voice greeted S.A. on the other end. As she described her mother's struggles, the tears she had been holding back began to fall. The staff at IncrediCare reassured her immediately that she had found the right place. Help was on the way. Within 48 hours, an intake coordinator arrived on PB's doorstep, greeting her with kindness and ready to listen. They sat together over tea, PB's eyes lighting up as she shared stories from her full life. The coordinator gently prompted her with questions, gaining insight into the support she needed while respecting her wishes. A plan emerged centered around PB's needs and preferences: nutritious home-cooked meals, light housekeeping, medication reminders, companionship. She would not be alone. Her days would have purpose again. Home care to the rescue. The IncrediCare team began arriving right on schedule, their patience and compassion washing over PB like a soothing balm. The once cluttered counters now sparkled again as homemade dishes simmered on the stove. The companions were bright spots in her day, chatting over puzzles or taking leisurely walks while keeping a watchful eye. For the first time in years, PB slept soundly, free from the worry and confusion that had plagued her nights. She felt cared for, and soon her spirit began to blossom once more. As the seasons changed, glimpses of the old PB returned. She laughed more freely, engaging with passion when talking about her grandchildren. On warm afternoons, she liked to garden, the winter coats now tucked away in the properly organized closet. Her smiles came easier these days, lighting up her face with their familiar warmth, and when she gazed out her window, she was filled not with emptiness, but gratitude for each new day. A new lease on life. S.A. could hardly believe the transformation in her once fading mother. Her step felt lighter now, less weighted by the nagging worry that haunted her for too long. She knew her mother was safe, cared for, and filling her days with purpose and connection. No longer did she dread the phone calls, finding herself laughing along to her mother's stories just like old times. Her heart overflowed with relief and joy, gifts beyond measure she credit to the angels from IncrediCare. She thought back to the bleak night she first searched online, frantic with fear that her mother was slipping away. That frightened woman seemed a distant memory now, replaced with steady confidence and trust. PB still had challenges, but she was facing them with support, dignity, and renewed purpose. S.A. was eternally grateful for the compassionate hearts at IncrediCare, who had given her mother the greatest gift, more time to share her beautiful light with the world. IncrediCare Home Care was the solution. The changes in PB and SA spoke to the tremendous power of care and understanding. In our most vulnerable moments, we all need to know we are not alone. For this mother and daughter, IncrediCare offered a lifeline back to hope and connection when they needed it most. If you or an aging loved one need a glimmer of light or a new lease on life, talk to the Fairfax home care experts at IncrediCare today. 703-272-8838.